what's going on YouTube? Welcome to 1 minute production. In this tutorial, I'm going to show you how I made this modern Afro beat. So I'm going to be talking about different styles of music on this channel. So guys, if you want to be updated, subscribe to this channel. I'll be doing more tutorials on how to mix the music theory, how to mix good beats from scratch, how to mix get a good track, how to master, how to come up with a good track. So in this track, so let's start off with the chords. Actually, these chords I used an electric piano. Just basics. Make sure that you play with velocities. I'm hoping that you guys already know about how to come up with these chords. You already know the music theory. So if you don't know about the music theory, I can do tutorials on that one. So you can tell me to do tutorials on that one. If you guys don't know how to come up with these chords, you don't know what they mean, how you come up with this whole thing. So I can do a tutorial for that. The basic music theory you can use, actually the basic that you can use to create your good beat, and it's in the right key. So this electric piano, I got it from Expand, and it's Soft Mark II right here. So actually I didn't do much on this. If we go to the master, I removed some low end, cut out some low end, especially the subs. We don't need those ones because we're going to add our own bass, so we don't need to have two basses. Actually, they can create controversies in the track. So we cut out the low ends, cut about 280 yards. Then we'll cut out the high end at around 300-400 hertz. It doesn't matter. It's according to how you hear your beat. It's according to how it's known that they think it's not crumb work. You need to listen to your beat and know if there's more high end, how you can go about this. Actually, I cut out the low end to create more darkness in the chords, so that the chords sound more darker, so that you can more dark. So as you hear it, so I threw some reverb, the basic reverb, then I widen them a little bit using the stereo imager from Waves. Actually, you can use any stereo imager. You can use the isotope imager. It doesn't matter what plugin you use. You just widen this a little bit. It's according to how you have your sound. So it's not crumb work or anything. You can do anything that you want. The next thing I did is the parts. Actually, they're the same chords as the electric piano. Actually, I played with the velocities similarly to the electric piano. I played with the velocities to get more natural sound, as you know, this one, to get more natural sound with this, so that the beat does not sound computerized or anything. So here I carried out the low end, then even the high end, then I threw some reverb on this one. Then the next thing I wanted it out, it'll be similarly to the electric piano. Then the next thing we have is the magic vocal. This vocal. Actually, this is my vocal. I recorded it on phone. I added some filters, lots of filters to make it sound more good. I did not use even the microphone or what. I just got a vibe somewhere and I recorded it right away. So the whole thing started with this vocal. So let me show you how I came up with this. Actually, what I did, if I try to remove all these, you can hear the vocal is grumpy. You see, you hear some things, some lows, some noise right there. So if what I did first is cut out the low end. So I cut it out the low end. The next thing I did, I added a gate. Actually, what the gate does, it makes it turns the choir. It actually, what the gate does to this vocal, you see these parts that don't have that much volume, it mutes them out automatically, getting rid of all that noise. So if you guys don't know how these gates work, I can do a tutorial on that one. I can show you how these gates really work. They are really awesome. You can use any gate. You can use the one from Fully Reverb. Actually, I use this one from Waves. As you know, if you try to move this up, you can see it really cuts out the volume. Where you don't have that much volume, it cuts those vocals, it cuts that noise out. But we don't need to do this much on this. You can really ruin the old vocal. The next thing I did, I added the compressor, actually to remove those peaks. But you don't need to compress that much. You don't need to do that much compressing. I used glue on this one, but you can use any compressor. You can use the limiter, which is actually a stock plugin. It comes with FL Studio. You don't need to do a lot of things on this one. You don't need to buy an expensive plugin. If you don't have the money, you can use this one, which comes with FL Studio. So you just need to set. If I try to remove this one, actually you set the ratio. You make sure that you are in compression mode. This is the limiting mode. This is the compression mode. Then you set your ratio and you start moving down the threshold to compress this a little bit. But you don't have to be so aggressive on vocals because you can ruin the whole quality. You don't have to compress these vocals so much. Then the next thing you need to do here, actually it's the same thing as here. As you know, here I turn down the threshold, and here I added some compressors, the ratio here. Actually, what I like about this compressor that has this knob, the wet and dry knob. That's what I love about this compressor. So you can mess with the turn, you can mess with the reeds to come up with a very good. You can do you can compress certain frequency here. So it has a little bit of more functionality compared to the other stock plugin. So the next thing I did, I added some auto tune to make this vocal be in a key with the with the track. So if you try to check, I made sure that our root note is C sharp and our root chord is C major. So I try to get the same setting here, so that we have here C major, so that we are in the same key with the track. So then I made the speed real fast right here, so that it doesn't matter if you make the auto tune so hard. So because this is just an FX vocal, you don't need to do much about it, about you, even if you be aggressive on it doesn't matter. So with the auto tune, so the next thing I did here, I added I throw in another EQ, so that the vocal is more lighter. So the next thing I threw in some reverb, very harder. But you can even use the reverb that comes with FL Studio. You can use reverb, this reverb, it actually also works, but it works. You can turn the decay level all the way up to get the same effects, but actually I went with this plugin, it's more better. You have more control over the reverb to get that ambient sound in the vocal. So I try to widen this a little bit. With the stereo imager, you can use any imager. So finally we get something like that. The next thing we have here on the menu is the Mogo bass. So if you try to turn the Mogo bass from Serum, actually you can use any plugin on this one. There's no specific, you can use Serum on this one. You can create your own bass. Like here you can add the 2 souls in these oscillators. Then the next thing, you turn up the detune level of one oscillator, and this one to fall another oscillator all the way up. You turn the detune up, then you change the octave of this oscillator all the way down, and this one to -1 and this one to -2. Then the next thing, you cut the frequency right here, you filter them out like this. Then we have this. You can actually play with that until you get the sound that you want. You can turn down the detune level and the unison until you get the sound that you want. Or you can use any Mogo bass out there. There are a lot of plugins that come with Mogo bass, but I actually made my own Mogo bass. Here you can use anything. So the next thing we are going to work on is, next thing that we have is the drums. We have the drums. First off, we have this. We have this rim shot. Actually, I did nothing on it, but you can actually turn down the high end of this one, like the subs. We don't need that one. So what I did on this pattern, you can see I actually turned down these velocities to get more bounce of this. this drum. Then the next thing that we heard of this sound, the next thing that we heard is the kick. It's the kick, your triangle. Really basic. You don't have to do too much. Then the next thing, we have is this open hi-hat, or to add more groove to the drums. And the next thing we have is the hi-hat. Actually adds that bounce to the drums. You can also play with the velocities of these ones. And play with the velocities, press Ctrl R to get more groove. And next thing we have the clap, then the whole thing. Then the next thing we have is the guitar, the melody, the guitar. That is actually the Amplitude Guitar TC, the default preset. Actually, I didn't change anything. The bass key melody, you don't have to do too much. Doing more reverb on this one. So we have the last thing we have here is the 808. Here we have the 808. Actually, I added some pitch slide in there. You can do this by adding things like this. You can add the slide to the next note. So actually in this 808, if you try to check here, I added I crushed it a little bit using a wave shaper. Then I did some side chaining on this one. If you try to check the kick, try to check the snare. Make sure that your kick is side chained to the 808. You do this like this. A kick, you highlight this, side chain it here to the 808. Then the next thing you need to do is here it's in compression, in limited mode. You go to the compression mode, then you add the kick right there. So after adding the kick, you need to set the ratio, the compression ratio. Then you turn down the threshold. This one is the 808 is compressed according to the volume of the kick. So this creates more space for the kick to sit in the 808, which makes the kick to come out. So you need to side compress your kick to the 808 so that it stands out. If you don't have side chain on this one, the kick will be inside you won't even hear it at all. So the 808 will be the one taking over everything. So you need to make sure that you compress your kick right there. You need to make sure that you have. If you guys need me to do a tutorial about sidechain compression, you can also. Actually, I'm gonna do that. I'll do that. I'll go about all the things, the music theory. I'll go from the beginning. I'll teach you everything from scratch, so we will create bass from scratch. Right off, I will teach you how to side compress your kick with the bass. When to sidechain, when to not sidechain, how to sidechain your reverb from vocals. I will teach you guys everything there, so you don't need to worry about that one. I'll be doing that. So the kick sticks out even if we have the bass. So the kick, you can hear it even though we have the bass. So that's the power of side chaining your beat with side chaining your bass with the kick. Actually, it creates more groove to the track. All the things you want to hear in the track. You can hear them. Oh, excuse me, on that one. So we have this effect. It's just an effect, random effect. Can't use anything. It's just an effect. Then we have symbols here and there to add simple transitions here. As you know, this beat, guys, it's just a bass key beat. I don't have to do too much complex things. You guys, you can get confused. You will get confused. So I did a bass thing right here so that we know what we're doing. Okay. Thank you guys for watching my tutorial. You can share this content with your friends. Thank you. Don't forget to subscribe. The project files will be in the description. Bye. See you in the next tutorial. Thank you.